viewers who are fans of sails are busted.
We have about 20 minutes left of the right amount of sunlight for us. 2 o'clock is our closing window. As soon as I'm done talking about this, we're going to flip all these windows and go right to silver. Use the modern mirrors and see if we can get some flame.
It was modern mirrors that worked in Massachusetts, but on a target that was dry. So back with the sodden ship, it's down with the sail and out with the bronze, as regular mirrors get their trial by fire.
I can tell already that there's a lot more smoke coming out, and they're not even all focused on it yet. Plus, these guys are getting better and better at drawing in the beam.
This time there's plumes of smoke because the modern mirrors are around 20% more efficient than the bronze. But frustratingly, there's still no flash ignition. So what does our NASA genius think?
I'm beginning to doubt that Archimedes actually did it because it's not known at this time that it could be done, and it's a big leap of faith to go way out to try and do this hard work, not knowing that it will succeed.
And after more than an hour, this record-breaking rig hasn't succeeded. Which means that this myth is looking increasingly shaky, particularly when coupled with a history lesson.
One thing a lot of people may not realize about this show is that we always back up investigations in a myth with documentary or historical evidence, and in this case there's almost none to be had.
The earliest and probably best account we have of the Battle of Syracuse was written by Polybius, who wrote during the lifetime of soldiers who actually fought in the battle, and never once mentions fire or burning mirrors.
Yeah, the first mention of the use of fire was by Lucian, but that wasn't until 300 years later, and there was no mention any place of the use of mirrors. It was just fire.
Well, the very first definitive mention of burning mirrors in the Battle of Syracuse was written by Anthemius almost 800 years after the battle, and it's his description that got expanded on in the 12th century and eventually became the story we know today.
The history books. Another particularly big nail in this coffin. Back in the after all the mirrors are aligned under the charred boat. At last, they have fire. Congratulations! That's great! We'll call it, It's been a valued effort by MIT and the Mythbusters. But remember, the myth is not that sun-reflecting mirrors can cause fire, but that this principle was used by Archimedes as a weapon.
If you wanted something that would, just set fire to the boat immediately, it would have to be maybe 4 or 5 times the size of the sun. That's right. So you have a lot of people that are good 1,200, 1,500, 3,000 mirrors.
So a death ray could just work, only with many more mirrors and aimers. Surely a waste of resources. Especially given the alternatives.
I think we can all agree that the burning mirror is hard to use. There's a lot of aiming involved, needs a lot of people, takes a long time. So we built something that we know Archimedes had in his arsenal at the time.
And now we present the Scorpion. Ready to see it in action? Let's see it in action.
All right, you guys ready? You guys brace yourself for the power of the Scorpion.
In Archimedes' time, this catapult got its power through animal sinew. But through health reasons, Grant and Torrey have been forced to use nylon rope springs instead. And once tensioned, they're going to fire arrows coated in JD's secret recipe, flammable goo.
Okay, it's all yours. Everybody else out of the way.
It's the moment of truth.
Ready!
Grant, if I was on that boat, I'd be more some guy with a rock.
Now do you see why the Romans were so terrified?
James was defensive, that's where the Romans were effective. Never fired up there.
But it doesn't take long for Grant to make amends. And from there, it's hit after hit. Yet the fight still refused. Fire an arrow over 300 feet. Alternative means of attack, whether a catapult or an archer, must be the final nail in the coffin for this mission. The Mythbusters and MIT put in a brave effort, but found their fiery death ray to be just too impractical. And as if to prove that point, the wind kicks up to terminate the experiment for good.
The large-scale rig that we built with MIT was stunning in terms of giving us so much more knowledge about whether or not this thing was possible. I was amazed at the efficiency of the thermal conductivity of the bronze, and I think it really can ignite dry timber at a distance.
I'm sorry, I don't agree. We had a stationary boat. We had a distance of less than a bow shot. We didn't get open flame created from bronze mirrors. I think it's busted.
And then on top of that, there's the historical evidence, which there's none. I mean, they don't even talk about fire for another 300 years, and then another 400 years they mention mirrors, so it looks like this one's busted.
I agree, it's totally, completely busted. Although I don't expect to stop getting emails about it. I mean, this is one of those stories that's too good to not keep telling.
On this episode of Mythbusters,
Don't tell them which ones we have.
Adam and Jamie outside their comfort zone in a footballing myth.
But we would, aspire to not be idiots.
They head for a hangar and hurl Hail Marys. Bang! To see if hang time really is higher with helium.
Consistent.
Grant, Carrie, and Tori take a pot shot at a deadly myth. As they aim to the distance of each one. For test number 2, the balls are emptied, then refilled with the other gas. Once again, it's crucial to the experiment that its identity remains secret.
Okay, these are ready. Tell me which ones we have.
See how far they go.
Yeah.
4 yards.
Tim puts up another 5 punts, this time with helium-filled balls. So, what were the results? And did he spot the difference?
From your standpoint, what do you think between the first 2 sets of balls? What were you kicking first and what were you kicking second?
I felt like the first set of balls I kicked were filled with helium.
Your first set of balls were actually regulation balls filled 13 psi with just regular air.
Wow. I would have thought that those were the helium balls.
Well, the second set was the helium balls.
That's surprising.
Once more, even though Tim didn't pick them, the helium balls did travel further than the air-filled ones by an average of 3 yards. But is that data reliable?
It looks like it supports the myth that helium does fly farther than air, but unfortunately, kick to kick, we're looking at a difference of like up to 20 yards sometimes. And when I see a difference of that between 2 data points, I just don't look at my average as being a real number. I'm not ready to call this one busted, plausible, or confirmed yet. I don't think we have enough real data.
Creators of Mythbusters Live, it's a splatter fest. Carrie's up before the paintball firing squad, but she's taking it on the chin.
I'm fine.
Is this just pointless but enjoyable victimization? Or might there be some myth busting in there somewhere?
Science is fun.
My guess? A little of both. Here's a clip from the 1952 show You Asked For It.
Would you now give the bullet to Mr. Shores? They have him in place at the gun. And I'm in firing position, if you will.
Ready? Aim. Crack.
Make up your own minds. Is this Superman in disguise, or did he have more than just his tongue in his cheek?
Can I see that vote?
Carrie, Grant, and Tori are going to find out. They'll run a 3-part experiment. First, they'll run tests to see if teeth can withstand the force of a bullet. Next, put human reflexes under the gun to see if they're quick enough to catch a bullet.
It's a little scary.
And just in case they find that sharp arm, it is only a conjuring trick. They're going to try and build a rig to catch a bullet traveling at almost 1,000 feet per second. First up, the teeth strength test. And Tori's found a set of dentures.
We got those from the mortuary.
What we're going to do is put a bullet in a pair of teeth with average biting strength. And given the amount of kinetic energy that a bullet would have if it was fired from a gun, we'll see if the jaws can hang on to the bullet, then you are able to dissipate that kinetic energy. If you're not able to dissipate it, the bullet will come flying out.
Here's the plan. The bullet will be clenched in the dentures, which will be held shut using air pressure from the pneumatic cylinder. A weighted pendulum will swing down to strike a metal pin, which will hit the bullet, delivering the same amount of force as a shot fired from a gun. Grant explains.
Now, of course, the bullet is very small and travels very fast. We won't be able to have whatever we're making travel quite that fast. So we have to compensate by having it be much heavier.
Something else that you won't. The teeth have to be fighting down on the bullet with regular human force. But how strong is that? Tori wraps his Jaws around a fourth gauge.
117.10?
His best height, 117 newtons, or 85 pounds of pressure. Take two, with the bullet at the back of the jaws. The pin is lined up to hit the slug head on. 50 pounds gonna swing it in from 4 feet.
Wow. Bullet still in there?
Let's take a look at the high speed and see exactly what happened.
Okay.
The bullet's still there, and the teeth, apart from 1 or 2 chips, are still intact.
That is some really unexpected results. I wouldn't have predicted that in a million years.
The dentures with Corey's bite force were actually able to hang on to the bullet, which is a very surprising result. And lends a little bit of credence to something that so far we are all assuming is an illusion.
Hanging on to the bullet's one thing, but you have to be fast enough to catch it in the first place. Could anyone really bite down on a speeding slug?
Which one of you is Granny Mahara?
The team's going to test human reaction time to a pistol shot.
As soon as you hear or see something that tells you that I fired the gun, you're going to try to close down your mouth and see if you could physically possibly catch it.
By the way, so Grant doesn't die, they're using blanks and a bulletproof plastic sheet.
3, 2, 1.
We all know that Carrie's quick on the draw when it comes to opening her mouth. But it turns out she can shut it fairly smartly too.
Harry has the fastest reaction time.
They might even don some suitable protection. Undaunted, Carrie steps up to the plate.
Sending you to seems sort of like a bad idea.
You're going to be fine, Carrie. You can have a few whelps. You're going to love it.
You're just fine. Let's see how fast it goes.
Got it.
The answer, 300 feet.
Holy! It's gonna take a few trials here.
That's okay. I don't mind. I can do this all day.
You know, here on Mythbusters, one tries not to approach any experiment with a preconceived notion as to the outcome. But in this case, one thinks one can make an exception.
Fire.
Really? I can't even see it.
You can't catch this. There's no way you're going to be able to catch a bullet.
At 200 miles per hour, a paintball is only traveling 1/3 the speed of the slowest bullet.
I can see it coming at me, but by the time I can process so fast that my hand needs to grab onto it, it's already hit me. I'll see if I can't take the force for a projectile and stop it from breaking.
That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us how that works out. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Getting shot in the hand is one thing. Palming a paintball is quite another. The guys better think quick if they want to catch a bullet.
It's in your hand. There's no way you're going to shoot.
Adam and Jamie have been taking a punt at the myth that a helium-filled football will fly further than an air-filled one. But even with a specialist kicker, the data were all over the park. Back at M5, the guys are having a rethink. And that done, they have a discussion.
The best place kicker in the world really can't make a football land in the same spot twice in a row. There's too much variance between the kicks.
We need to go back to the shop and get a lot more scientific about this.
Well, let's look at the very first part of this. Does helium actually make a football lighter? Let's
carefully weigh some helium-filled footballs and some air. Think we should weigh my wedding ring?
That's huge.
Look at that, 11 drives of solid gold.
Let's see whether it'll pick up the foot. Ooh, nice. As opposed to
Well, it goes to a tenth of a gram. That's 0.00025 pounds. That's like a quarter of 1,000 kilograms. All right, we'll take them.
The jewelry store job goes like clockwork, and it's back to M5 for the win. Footballs can vary in weight by up to 7 grams, so they number the balls and record their dead weight. Then they fill the regulation amount of air, 13 psi.
Well, this is actually pretty cool. I'm getting almost exactly a difference of 3.2 grams, which means we're filling this with 3.2 grams of air.
I never would have guessed that. I would have thought it was like 1/10 of a gram.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Air weighs more than you think. Put a cylinder around the Eiffel Tower, and the air inside will weigh more than the tower itself.
Food for. Okay, so what's next?
I think we have to deflate these and film a helium test.
As everyone knows, inhaling lighter than air helium gives you a high-pitched voice. It's predictable, juvenile, and dangerous behavior. In other words, irresistible.
We're bubbling on the oxygen in your system. Wow!
Yeah, I know. I always have to stop and let's get through.
So, two issues there. Helium makes your voice sound funny, and it can kill you.
Yeah, that one's just fine.
First, the funny bit. It's all to do with the speed at which the sound of your voice travels through air. I reject your reality and substitute my own. And through helium.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Helium is only half as dense as air, so sound travels through it almost twice as fast. This doubles the frequency, making it sound squeaky. The second issue is much simpler. Humans don't work on helium, so don't try it at home. Back of the weigh-in.
It's actually almost 7 grams difference between the helium-filled football at regulation pressure and the air-filled football at regulation pressure.
And what's more, it turns out that even an empty
Amazingly, our researchers might have actually turned up the source of this fit, which is a punter who played for the Oakland Raiders from 73 to 1986 by the name of Greg Gott.
Yeah, this was stayed in the air so long and went so high that the NFL actually had to come up with a statistical term for it, which they called hang time.
During the course of the day, and everything I hit, so it was at least 5 seconds or better hanging time, and it was going exactly where I wanted to go.
Yeah, as the story goes, during a game in the 70s against the Houston Oilers, one of the punts hung so long in the air that the ball was immediately collected and tested for the presence of helium.
Once I hit it, the ball just took off and seemed like it just stayed up there. The air was good. A few years later, told me that Ron Holiday and coach said, hey, get that football. We're going to take it back and have it analyzed because they thought I had helium in it, which we have a pretty much a standing joke about it now.
There was no helium, but despite the lack of evidence, the myth persisted, which is why it's found itself on this show. That's enough historical background. Time for a gratuitous explosion.
The question we're going to answer here is how much pressure can the football actually take before it bursts? We don't really need to answer that question, but
get to blow something up. You ready?
That was great.
Oh, God.
That was about 110 pounds per square inch.
So, there's your answer. At 110 psi, you lose a football.
That's really cool.
But yeah.
What are you doing?
The bullet in the cheese myth hasn't quite bitten the dust, but it's shot full of holes. Now, Grant's come up with a plan, and he's aiming high.
I think we need to build something that'll be able to catch a bullet. And so you're going to build some kind of a rig that'll catch it.
Yeah. Be able to sense when the bullet comes and time it so that it closes the teeth.
Plenty of experience with remote controls and pneumatic actuators from his robot designs. Like Greg Carmody, the sequence.
Good girl. Kitty's such a sweet girl.
Even though a building this large can develop its own micro weather system, and I'm not kidding, there is no breeze, there's no wind, so it's a perfect place to test our football throwing machine and see if there's different air, other stuff.
First, they assembled today's MVP, the kicking machine. Then Adam paces out the test area.
That's the length of a football field, 100 yards. I can't imagine it's going to find farther than this. That's like a little screw up in the air, I think.
Either the kicker's having an off day,
That was not a spiral at all.
or there's a flag on the play of this myth-busting method.
It landed like this. This is the problem. You gotta work this one out. The way it's going now, it's like a total disaster. There's landing.
All over the place.
Yeah, one's like 50 feet, the other's 200 feet.
I would keep my hand on it.
Let's try that without that. Ready? I'm gonna try this one. It actually looks like a good spiral.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
The hands-off approach is the way to go.
One of the farthest throws, yeah.
And by jury-rigging a firing mechanism with a bungee cord, they maximize their chances of consistency.
Oh, I love it.
live ammo involved, the guys head for the firing range of the South San Francisco Police Department.
Oh man, this brings back memories.
Chief Firearms Instructor Sergeant Alan Normandy has agreed to supervise. He's aided and abetted before when the guys busted the blown away myth. It was Sergeant Normandy who finally knocked Buster off his perch. Unfortunately, he's also had first-hand experience with would-be bullet catchers.
I've seen the aftermath of someone who gets into that. The damage is very devastating. At a distance of 20 feet or so, I would imagine that you're going to have primarily just a puncture wound with a pistol round. But still certainly go through the mouth cavity and whatever's behind it without much difficulty.
In this case, the mouth is made of metal. Grant's robotic jaws are designed to snap shut with just the right amount of delay to catch a speedy bullet fired from a remotely triggered gun 25 feet away.
The range is yours. Okay, load it up.
Pretty good. First, they need to run some tests. They fire a few rounds at the target to make sure they're hitting the same spot every shot.
Alright. We went right through the same hole. That's good.
Then they position the jaws in the firing line.
Pressurizing the system.
And Grant activates the pneumatic actuator, which will snap them shut.
And we are on.
Then he captures them closing on high-speed camera.
3, 2, 1.
And works out to the millisecond how long it takes them to shut.
So, how long it takes when I trigger the gun to when the bullet comes out of the muzzle, and then how long it takes when I trigger the teeth to when they actually close, and I know the distance and the speed of the bullet. That's going to tell me exactly how long I have to wait to trigger the jaws so that the bullet gets there exactly as they close.
Grant does the math based on a bullet traveling at over 850 feet. Fine-tune the delay mechanism on the jaws. By tracking the bullet's progress frame by frame, he can estimate how many milliseconds the jaws are missing by and make the correct adjustment.
There we go. In 3, 2, 1.
The jaws are still missing by the skin of their teeth, but the bullet either splatters on steel or goes straight down the gullet.
I don't think the piece you're going to see is stuck in the mouth. The magician just caught it. I think it's just going to squish right on through.
Even with precision timing, down to thousandths of a second, it's still proving to be one tough trick to pull off.
There's absolutely no way that human response time could remotely catch a bullet. I mean, we've got timers. This is the closest thing to a short thing that we could possibly have.
Time to try a different set of metal mandibles. These duckbills have a greater surface area. Maybe they'll be better